Welcome to SLAB SAVERS Scenario 5. For Scenario 5, we're going to be looking at a large business occupancy with a lot of roll-up doors. And the big components on this one, we're really going to focus on the slab component on this one because as we've discussed, you look at the slab and understanding that every single thing with the new modern fire behavior environment and the way that we're building our structures nowadays are not there with our firefighter safety in mind. So every single structure you should be going to could always be evaluated as a slab, and we need to recognize that we're looking at it as a foundation, and we're going to try to save lives and property if we can, but if it's a slab, call it that. This building here, it can actually be savable in a lot of regards, but if you really break down the slab on this, you'll actually determine that there's a couple of components that actually may lead you to it being a red fire. So let's walk through the safety component of this, and when you look at the safety component, the first one that actually comes along with this incident is what's inside. We kind of talked about commercial structures. There could be anything inside, but when you go to commercial occupancy with a lot of roll-up doors like this, you should definitely be looking at is there potential for hazardous materials? Are there 704 placards? And it's pretty amazing that we will do a lot of hazardous materials training in the fire service, and we'll have a tanker truck rolled over or some other type of hazardous materials spill from a railroad, and we'll be talking about the rule of thumb, and we'll be saying, hey, as long as I can get far enough back to not see that incident through my thumb, then I'm okay. But we'll go to a structure fire simulation with hazardous materials involved, and we're still there fighting fire. And now we're talking about hazardous materials with fire involvement, but we're not keeping that distance back. And again, we're trying to save those lives and property. So in this regard, I'm looking at the 704 placard. Am I making entry based on the 241 or whatever standard system you're doing in the 704 placard? But with this one, is there hazardous materials? And just the name of the business should have already led you to the fact that, yes, there's hazardous materials in here. You have H&S Metalworks and plating. So now you're talking about a lot of those combustible metals, magnesium, titanium, and different metals like that. There's a lot of products out there that can assist with firefighting in here. F500 to assist with combustible metal fires. But you definitely don't want to be spraying just direct water on those things. You're going to have a combustible metal magnesium explosion in there, and it can definitely cause a lot of problems on your scene. So just this being a metalwork shop already has given you enough of an opportunity to say, yeah, we're going to be defensive on this. So that life profile. The hard thing about this is we've talked about on commercial structures, they got plenty of exits. And on this one, it's definitely true, they do, but they're all closed right now. So is the business actually operating right now? Is there people inside? Make that informed decision on if you have a life profile. And you can see the access and egress on this for your occupants is not very conducive to them actually exiting the structure. You got bars on the windows here, and you got all these roll-up doors that are closed, and even the one that is open, you got to walk through a gate that appears to be in the closed position as well. So make an informed decision as far as your life profile. If you have somebody, an employee out there that says, I know Joe is inside there, then it's going to completely change the outlook, and you're going to actually try to figure out ways to effective rescue and risk a lot to save a lot. Air track. Again, these roll-up doors are creating a kind of a weird airflow, but you got some good pressurized smoke throughout here, and many times it's just pressurized because these doors are closed and I'm not allowing it to open, but somewhere in there you got a good seated fire, and the best way to access this is actually get those doors open so you can see what's going on, right? So there's your air track, definitely very defined there, and then your building. So it looks like you got an older building, probably some good concrete construction, maybe block, tilt-up construction. It looks like it may be a little older than that, but it may be, pour-in-place slab. And is this one-story or two-story? You got another building set behind that. It looks like it's the same color paint scheme. is that actually attached to this building, and what is it back there for that taller portion of the building. So there's some of your building profile. So now, as we focus the slab on this is going to be one of those fires that we're probably actually setting this up as savers as far as probably divisions. But this is kind of right in the middle. You can just do a fire attack from the outsides and call it fire attack group, or from wherever they're defending. But because of that metal plating shop, you're going to have to do it with definitely some distance. So unless you have that known rescue and you're going right inside, you're probably going a defensive fire on this and using division A, B, C, and D wherever they're actually going external exposures to fight the fire for your strategy. So that's some of the big components on scenario number 5, and we'll look forward to seeing you in scenario 6. Thank you.